What's up, guys? Welcome to the 10th episode of Beside the Point. Double digits. Wow.
Pretty cool. It's like a birthday.
Yeah, it is. Kind of.
Birthday.
10th episode of Beside the Point. Still working on those 100 subs. You guys are helping us. We're at 40, but you know we can still keep going.
Yep. Good we can say it like that.
Yeah.
I'm Zach Quickle. This is Kyler, Eric, and Cam Davies. I got a last name. You got a last name. Sorry, I'm hosting, and
I'm Eric
you're Cam Davies all the time.
Yeah.
Eric and Cam Davies.
I feel weird saying this is going to be a good episode of Beside the Point, but just because of the an important episode. Thank you. The Las Vegas tragedy that just happened is awful stuff, man.
People suck.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. There's crazy lunatics out there, man. You know that it's
probably going to be conspiracy theories about it, just because like the shooter is just so out of character.
Absolutely,
it really is, you know.
And we'll dive right into it, man. So what happened in Las Vegas? There was a Jason Aldean concert.
It was a country music festival.
Right.
Aldean just happened to be
Aldean was on the stage at the time.
He was probably the main guy.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the main guys.
So at the Las Vegas Strip, and crowd of thousands. Crowd of thousands.
In attendance.
And a gunman on, I believe, what was the 32nd floor of a hotel, unloaded several rounds out of a machine gun into just a compressed crowd.
Not several rounds, several clips.
Yeah, several clips.
He had, I think, oh man, if I remember correctly, it was like he had 13 different firearms. In
Yeah, people described it as hundreds of shots fired.
And, so one thing about that, just because it's not released yet, but most people are saying he probably had modified semi-automatics.
He definitely did have modified.
Well, no, it was modified semi-automatics because
what I'm saying
to have
is
a
like
fully automatic weapon, you have to have permits, background.
Right.
You have to go through tons and tons and tons of background stuff. It's not something you can just walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm
absolutely."
Right.
So they're saying it's most likely semi-automatic modified rifles
that he tampered with.
Yeah. So you basically remove like the tampering triggers that stop it from being automatic and kind of gas pump those into the chamber that makes it sound and feel like an automatic.
Right, because the record shows that the federals have looked into is he bought all these guns legally. He has no criminal background.
Federal FBI?
The FBI.
Okay.
Yeah. No criminal background at all. He was a 60 something male, retired, living in Reno, Nevada, had several houses there that he
from Florida, like normal guy.
You know, golfed on the weekends. People saw him on the weekend golfing. He was a happy guy. He also was a big online poker gentleman, and he won thousands and thousands of dollars on online poker.
He also could have lost thousands and thousands.
Right. Well, see, that's he frequently visited Las Vegas because it was said, I was reading some articles like from his neighbors saying that he wasn't like a super talkative guy. But he would tell them when he would like extensively stay in Las Vegas, and they wouldn't see him for days on end. And also his brother, from what you said, he also could have lost a bunch of money. He was texting his brother a whole bunch, and obviously probably his whole life is his brother. But they never had any records of him losing money at all. Right. Like it wasn't. He didn't text anybody saying like, "Fuck, I'm so pissed, I lost all this money. I'm gonna shoot a whole bunch of people," or anything. Like he was he was a normal guy. The last text that his brother got from him was asking how his mom was doing because she lives in Florida and after Hurricane Irma and whatnot.
See, this is
I just think he was just a crazed lunatic that was.
Well, that's the thing, though. He wasn't.
No link to overseas terrorism or anything like that. I think he was just fucked up in the head.
They always do.
There already is.
There's gonna be so much because he's just not someone you would ever expect. Especially
when I heard he was like 60 something. I was just confused.
He doesn't look like an old guy. Like when you hear 60, it's like, wow, really? He looks like a middle-aged guy, normal guy.
Where I'd really hope that a lot of like real information gets actually like leaked to the public. So you get a little bit more insight of what actually happened.
A little more clarity on why it happened in the first place.
Because whenever the cops got there, apparently he was already dead.
He shot himself.
I think he killed himself.
Which is interesting. I wonder if there's some kind of suicide note somewhere that'll come out in the next couple of
That's the thing. There's not.
Maybe not there. That's what I'm saying. So I just wonder. If he had anything written down that he wanted said, or if there's any any reasoning behind it at all. Like
I can't even think of anything that you could write down to even
to justify something like that.
Well,
yeah, but
you know, one guy I was working with was like, you know, it's just one of those things where you just wish that you could actually talk to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know, just
right.
Even to find out like what
right.
caused it.
Right.
Not saying that it would give you justification or
I'm saying just
like
nobody knows
or anything, but just
even the Las Vegas Police Department, it was just like, we have no idea how this could have been prevented. Like this,
no,
right.
you can't like, you know, because he was
no criminal background,
how
nothing.
Did he get all those weapons?
Well, he was checked into
He
the
bought
hotel
them
for 3
legally.
days.
Well, no, I mean,
and then he fucked with them and made them.
Well, no, you can take them apart, bring them in
Yeah.
a suitcase.
Yeah.
He was there checked in for 3 days, so he had 3 days of planning and bringing stuff in, ammo, weapons. You don't get checked at the door when you go into a casino.
No.
I mean,
Right.
no
At least not into your hotel. I mean, like
no, you don't get checked in going through the front door.
yeah,
You know?
it's nuts.
There's nothing weird about one guy coming in with a suitcase, even if he came in
he probably
50
had multiple
times.
suitcases.
Right.
Those three-
And there's so
Or
many people,
backpacks or
there's so many
overnight
people who
bags.
aren't even who are just going to the casino. They're not even staying in the
Yeah.
hotel. That you can't even possibly keep track of how many times one human being comes in and out that
Right.
front door.
Even with facial rec, you know, I mean, yeah, you can kind of keep a profile, but it's not like you're gonna flag somebody.
It's not like
'cause
he's
they
doing
come in
anything
and out.
particularly weird.
Mhm.
Like, oh, he was out and now he is here. Like that's what you do at the hotel you're
Plus, it's
staying at.
Vegas. I'm sure they see a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
think he
fucking
got. I think it said over 50.
I thought
50
54.
dead. Over.
I
Yeah.
saw 58 was the last
50.
number.
It's
Right.
over
But see,
50
the
plus.
death toll is still rising just
Uh-huh.
because of the injuries. I
Right.
think there was
Some people
500
were-
plus injured.
500
yeah,
plus injured.
hundreds injured, 58 if we saw that correctly last. But yeah, it's terrible.
Fucking tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this at the time of, which is this gonna go out tomorrow, Tuesday, I believe,
Mhm.
you've already seen videos and
Right.
stuff of it.
I'm sure there's something we don't even know because by Tuesday
It's just so
afternoon
new.
when it goes up, there'll be some more nonsense coming out from
yeah.
this. That like
oh
it's,
yeah. There was new developments every like 10 minutes on it.
Right.
I was watching it at work today. It was,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
there'll be something new tomorrow. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
And when I said earlier that he had no criminal background or anything, but it was, having said that, it was said that his father was
Most wanted.
once on the FBI's most wanted list for bank robberies or just robberies. I don't know if it was bank robberies, but
I think it was bank robbery.
you know, when they interviewed his brother, they were like, "Yeah, we were born on the run." You know, it's like I never knew my dad because he was in jail, but he had us when he was running away from the feds.
Huh.
Yeah.
But that's,
And,
but like even if like that's the way he was born, that's still we'll say 60
Right, it's no
relatively
excuse.
normal
It's no-
years.
yeah,
It's
right.
like
But I mean, there might be a history there of
Sure.
some fucked up shit going on in the head. You
I
know,
don't know, maybe I'm always interested in the psychology of it all. 'Cause
Right.
There was a school shooting where the guy sniped a bunch of people out of a clock tower, and then when he died,
Texas.
Yeah.
I think this was West Virginia. I think I could
No,
be
West.
wrong.
Was that the Virginia?
Virginia Tech. I don't think Virginia Tech was in the school.
Virginia
The
Tech
point
was in
is
the school.
that's why I wasn't trying to quote it too much. But
Right,
he had
right.
he had a suicide note that said, "Hey, something's wrong with me. Do an autopsy."
Yeah.
And they cut his brain open, and he had a tumor on the gland that controls impulse control.
Really?
Yeah. And so like, I'm curious if maybe this guy's got
He just snapped one day.
he didn't so much snap so much as he had the idea to shoot people, and he was like, "Well, time to shoot people,"
Well,
because he can't stop that impulse.
Huh.
It's like going postal.
Fucking
Turn
interesting.
from good old
Yep.
Edmond, Oklahoma, where we're
Yep.
at,
Yeah.
going postal.
Right.
That's the thing. It's just all of a sudden the normal guy. The whole story about the guy going postal. He's a normal guy, showed up to work every day. Then one day he just showed up and started killing all his coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's fucked up. It.
you know, so
And I was thinking about that today too. I was like, wow, like how just crazy and incredible this shit happened, or this stuff is, and it's like, well, you know, it's happened so far away in Nevada, which is really not that far away.
I was gonna
so
say,
it's
in,
like,
the, in the grand scheme of terrible things happening in
Right.
the world, that's just a stone
and it's
throw.
just like that's so crazy that could never happen.
I would just go up every 5 minutes and touch something.
I thought before we got too into it.
All right. Well, like, okay, then I'll say,
But yes, it could happen here.
it,
It
like,
has.
yeah, I feel like I could. Like, it can never happen here. But then this is the deadliest modern U.S. mass shooting of all time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And,
Tenfold,
Yeah. And so I watched a video of the top 10, this being number 1, and the Edmond Postal Service shooting was number 10, I think.
Mhm.
But just, huh?
Last time I remember saying it was like number 7.
Right.
Right.
Well, I think,
10 now. So
yeah.
Some terrible
There's-
things
yeah,
have
there's
happened.
some
Yeah.
terrible shit that happened.
like every
but
year.
having that thought, I was like, wow, this could. I mean, this is so bizarre. Like, I can't even imagine or wrap my head around this happening here. And then watching that video, I was like, oh shit, this did happen in the very town that I live in.
Before 9/11 and before this, the worst case of domestic terrorism in this country was the memorial bombing. It happens.
Yeah, shit, didn't even think about the memorial bombing.
Happened on my birthday.
Like the first thing,
yeah, no,
happened on my fucking birthday.
It was definitely the first thing I thought about earlier, but like when he was talking about the top 10, I didn't even think about it. But I guess he was talking about shootings though.
So I don't know where that falls, but I'm saying
just terrorism in general.
Yeah, before 9/11, that was the worst case of domestic terrorism this country had ever seen, and now I don't know how many people are going to die here, but this could be the worst. Yeah, I mean, it's just like this is fucking madness, man.
If he hadn't shot himself, I don't know how much ammo he brought, but if he had 13 guns, I feel like he could have done even more damage. Because I mean, how quickly would because SWAT was there eventually, but
I mean, they responded just about as fast as they could have.
Right.
Everything
but there's only so much you can do.
Everything I'd read said Las Vegas PD was flawless. Right. Like it was, it's all you can do.
We're also talking about like that being at a concert. You know, so you have loud ass people. It's like you hear all the gunfire going on in the background, and like he's still up there just playing the guitar, and then
it took him a second.
And he's sitting there just like kind of looking around.
Right.
And then he
is that my pyrotechnics or is that a gun?
Right.
It's like
fireworks.
You hear him just say something like, "Oh shit," and then he starts.
Yeah, it was said he just dropped his guitar and ran off the stage.
Yeah, and then everyone's like what's going on? Then like the music dies, and you hear the crack, 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 and then everyone's just like.
Yeah,
that's not. Like
and think about all those people in just like a closed off square.
And part of the problem was he was essentially over the exit.
Right.
And so if people would have, in theory, gotten over the instinct, because you hear the sound, you run the opposite way. But had you gotten over that instinct and people ran the other way, less people would have got hurt. Yeah. If they would have ran into the line of fire, was my understanding.
It's awful.
I mean, he was far
away.
With
that so many people like running in all directions.
No, I know that. But I'm just saying,
like all that.
But your instinct is to go away from that noise, and ironically, the only safety was towards that noise. And part of why it was so bad.
How far away was he? Because he was on the 30.
He was in. I saw a picture of the hotel. It was.
I mean, it's probably 200, 150 yards away. I don't know the exact distance, but it's pretty decent distance.
Yeah.
I mean, easily for a high-powered AR to make shots on, but. Because it showed like an overview of like the hotel where his window was, and you had like the Luxor here, so that's already like I don't know what, maybe 100.
I haven't been to Vegas in years.
The thing was like across the street from the Luxor, basically.
And I don't know what kind of clips he had, but if you watch the videos and you hear the sound, it's like he was firing like 30 to 40 rounds with one clip.
They did audio analysis on it, and he was shooting about 10 rounds a second, and they're going for about 4-second shots. It was about 40 rounds.
Jesus Christ.
So it was just like, whenever they slowed it down, it was just like, you hear the clack, 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 just like rapid fire. It was definitely some type of like automatic adjusted weapon, so.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and like, I was just watching, just because at work today was pretty slow, and I was watching an interview with one of the other artist that was performing, and like I guess like him and a bunch of people like hid in like a big trailer that was like an ice cooler,
a freezer.
But he says like whenever he was sitting there, he was like basically at front stage because he's a performer, and he was watching him perform, and then he saw him do like the slow down thing and like start to run on stage, and then he says like he was just looking around in the crowd and he just saw one person like fall and like another person just fall, and like he looked like to his right and like a person right next to him got hit and fell, and then everyone just started running.
Oh yeah.
And then he says like they all hid in that trailer. And then, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, once it all stopped, he came out and there was just, like, 6 more dead bodies, like, right there.
There were plenty of people they interviewed who were just like, there were just people dropping just right beside me. Just Dan Bilzerian, I follow him on Instagram, and he would. I don't know how accurate he was with it, but he was talking about, or he was running when he was filming. And he was very he very gruesomely described somebody getting shot right next to him, a woman that got shot right next to him.
He pulled a bunch of the videos because in a later video, he's on Instagram or YouTube wherever he's threatening to go get his gun.
I think it was Instagram. No, he did go get his guns.
Well, the point is he had to pull those off.
Right.
Though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can't find. Well, you probably can. I'm sure somebody ripped them off and has kept them, but they're not on his channels anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just fucking. It makes me scared to go out, man. Like I was texting my dad about it today. He's like, "Yeah, well, you just gotta live your life, man." But you do, but
you can't.
It makes you think twice about going to a basketball game.
Yeah, or just anywhere with hundreds of people.
Well, shit, like the Ariana.
Well, they were on his story, Justin. Yeah.
You like the Ariana Grande concert in the UK not too long ago, like that. You know, it's
Just
like
getting into
hitting just big events. This one's obviously not linked with overseas terrorism.
Right.
It's just
We don't know that for a fact.
Well-
yeah, but they don't think it is.
yeah.
Right.
It's still
Like
crazy.
that, it brings
hear
up,
a bunch more theories and stuff about.
I'm sure.
that,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But,
In the next couple of days, somebody will say that
ISIS
there's a
already
new,
took credit for
there's a
it.
new terrorist cell, and they were somehow tied to it. It's like we'd never even heard of that. Y'all are crazy.
Which
ISIS
actually,
apparently ISIS has already taken credit for this. So.
They take credit for everything, though.
yeah.
Oh, Americans died. Yeah, that was.
They're like,
yeah.
oh, your grandma died of cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
That was us.
more-
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
oh, hurricane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was us.
Yeah, we did
that.
that. I spun real fast
Yeah.
right here, and I threw that right at you.
So,
Actually, going back
It's
to
been brewing.
what I said earlier about this could never happen here or whatnot, and we already disproved that twice.
Right.
But the third time, do you remember when the student was in the chemistry lab or whatever at the OU game and had a bunch of pipe bombs and was blowing shit up? You guys remember that at all?
Vaguely.
It was probably 6-7 years ago.
It's been a while.
That one wasn't one that made huge track because no one died, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
I
that
think
one
he was
didn't make-
planning on that, but he was just a fucking moron and blew himself up before
Yeah.
he could go out and do real damage.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about it, but it wasn't one that ever made
Right.
oh my god, this happened.
Right.
You know, outrage. You know,
yeah.
so it was.
That was a OU Kansas State game. I was there in the stadium and fucking heard all that shit go off and just didn't think anything about it. You know, nobody did. And then after the game, they were just filing people out. Somebody's out here with explosions. Like we need to get, or explosive, yes. It's God, it's just hitting too close to home now. This shit is getting fucking scary,
Yeah, it's
man.
crazy. You hear about these things happening in Israel and Saudi Arabia and all this stuff, and you're like, oh, that sucks. And then you
Right.
go to
But it's just hard to wrap
Brahms and
your
get a cheeseburger,
yeah.
and that's your day. But now,
Yeah.
I've been there.
happening
You
in our
so
home
it's like,
court,
it's like,
man.
oh, cool. Fucking nuts, man. That's what I'm saying. Right. It could be anybody.
Right.
You
Yeah.
you
Why?
can't hear our.
It
our
can be
sound
anywhere.
over here, but he says he was actually at an Ariana Grande concert, not the one in the UK, obviously. But
Right.
you know that could
That could
the one
have
he
very
was
well
at,
been the one here.
You know,
It's crazy.
So.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Bat
Well,
shit insane.
That's
We're almost done.
really if anybody want to touch on anything else about that. I mean,
not to get too much because this could go forever, but
hours. Yeah.
do you think it has something to do with the gun laws being kind
well,
of
yeah, just the American gun culture,
Or
you know.
or
Like,
do you think a crazy person's just going to find a different way to hurt everyone?
Well, like that too. But Hillary Clinton tweeted today. She was like, "This man hit 500 some people and killed at the time." And she had the number for whatever that most recent report was. Can you imagine how much worse it would have been with a silencer? And that's what the NRA. Like she twisted it into like this. Yeah,
Well, that's kinda-
this terrible. It's like, okay, that's a little soon, but like they're already jumping on that in like a political way.
Because that was one thing I was gonna bring up the topic, but I don't know if I want
We
to
don't
just
need to-
because there's
Yeah,
so
well,
much you can get into it.
yeah.
You know?
We'll pull the
But-
ripcord and get out of it real quick. But
Right.
Because you think about it, it's going to bring up the whole topics of gun control in America
Yep.
and how we need to be.
It's
like
something. It's something
everywhere
worth
else.
coming back to in a couple
Right.
of weeks when we see kind of more solidly what the repercussions of this are.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Columbine effect is
Yeah.
excellent point.
Well,
For sure.
if we want to wrap up on that shitty, terrible fucking
Yeah,
topic,
let's say
then again, pray for Las Vegas and their families or anybody who's lost a loved one there. I believe Facebook has a distress page if you cannot find or locate anyone that was there for the incident. Other than that, we still are the Hardcore Casuals. Please like us.
Please.
Subscribe, please, if you will do that as well. And like I said, it's just so important to keep those people in Las Vegas in your prayers.
Kind
So
of a shitty day.
thank you guys.